The wedding ceremony was supposed to be a joyful celebration for Emily and John, but right in the middle of it, everything took a dark turn. John's father stood up, holding a long speech in his hand. He spoke about his business, his pride in John, and how he had high hopes for his son's future. At first, it sounded like a normal speech, but then, his tone changed, his words became cold. "To be honest," he said, looking around the room, "my wife and I never wanted this marriage to happen. If we had our way, we'd cancel it right now." Then he turned toward me and Emily, sneering. "You're beneath us." The room fell into an uncomfortable silence. Emily, standing there in her white wedding dress, started to cry. She had worked so hard to make this day special. Seeing her hurt like that made my chest tighten. As her older brother, I couldn't sit back and let her be insulted like that, not on her wedding day. I stood up. The crowd, which had been whispering moments ago, went completely still. All eyes were on me. "My name is Robert Smith," I said, walking toward the microphone. "I'm Emily's brother, and I'd like to say something." I picked up the letter John's father had left on the table, then looked straight at him. "You may not support this marriage, Mr. Thompson," I said calmly, "but I do. I may be just a small packed lunch shop owner, but my sister and I have faced many hardships together. We've worked hard to build an honest life, and I'm proud of what we've built." Gasps filled the room, but I wasn't done yet. "You see this letter you wrote?" I held it up. "You meant it to shame my sister, to ruin her special day, but to me, this letter shows your true character, cold, proud, and full of judgment. My mother always told me that handwriting reflects the heart. This letter, it reflects nothing but arrogance." John's father started to yell, but I didn't stop. "Even if you think this is a mismatch, I will stand by Emily and John. As a brother and now as a brother-in-law, I will support their marriage with all my heart." The room was quiet for a moment, then, people began clapping, one by one. The entire hall stood up and applauded. After the ceremony, John's father came rushing over to me. His face was red. "I didn't realize you were the owner of Smith's Packed Lunch," he said. "I apologize for my earlier words. But I didn't back down. You once came to my shop," I reminded him. "You offered to turn our fried chicken into a frozen food product. You wanted to expand it into a chain of stores. I almost signed the contract because I thought you respected my work." Then I looked him in the eye. "But after the way you treated Emily, after what you said today, I can't work with someone like you. The deal is off." "What?" "But we've already printed packaging and started renovations. We've invested so much." "I haven't signed anything," I said, "and this recipe, it's a family treasure, passed down from my parents. I won't give it to someone who disrespects us." John stepped in then. "Dad, our relationship ends today," he said firmly. "You broke your promise to me. I'm done. I'm cutting ties." Tears filled John's eyes as he spoke. His voice cracked, but he stood tall. "I've taken my wife's family name. I'm John Smith now." After that dramatic day, Emily and John moved into an apartment near our lunch shop. She now had a 20-minute bike ride to work instead of a 1-minute walk, but she still showed up every morning with a smile. She continued to help in the kitchen, take care of customers, and handwrite all the promotional signs. Her neat writing had become a trademark of our shop. Meanwhile, John helped me on the business side. Despite cutting ties with his powerful family, he used his skills to help us grow. Eventually, he started his own digital marketing company. Without an heir, John's parents hired someone else to take over their company, but Mr. Thompson couldn't work well with others. The company shrank, and they regretted pushing John away. On our end, Smith's Packed Lunch kept growing. Our chicken curry started selling in local stores, then expanded online. It was even featured in department store gift catalogs. One day, a woman came for a job interview. She was around my age and had the most beautiful handwriting, just like my mother's. She expressed a deep love for our lunch shop and its homey interior. Emily praised her for being warm, detail-oriented, and hard-working. My mother's words echoed in my mind. Handwriting reflects the heart. That's when I realized I was falling for her. Eventually, I proposed. Now, we have 2 children. We've built a life together, alongside Emily and John. Today, we're all at a gourmet food festival in New York City, running the food truck with our families. The crowd is huge, and our fried chicken is better than ever. From a small shop to this bustling festival, we've come a long way. I know the future of Smith's Packed Lunch is bright. and I know our parents would be proud. There wasn't much I could do at that point. Emily and John were already deep into their wedding plans, so I focused on something I could control, promoting our shop. Even though I wasn't great with phones or computers, I started a website and created social media pages for Smith's Packed Lunch. I recently saved up and bought a small food truck, too. I had Emily handwrite the chalkboard menus. Her handwriting was as beautiful as ever. We began taking the truck to local markets, hoping more people would get to know us. Eventually, the wedding date was set. It would be a small ceremony with just close friends and family. John came up to me one day and said, "Robert, I've talked to my parents. I've convinced them. Please attend without worry." I nodded, though I still had doubts. "I trust you, John, but Emily says she still wants to help out at the shop. That's part of the plan." Emily smiled and said playfully, "You know the customers come to get their energy from me. You'll miss me when I'm gone." She was joking, but part of me knew it was true. Emily wasn't just my little sister, she was the heart of the shop. Letting her go felt like letting go of a piece of our parents. Still, I nodded. I had to let her live her life. On the day of the wedding, I saw her walk in wearing a beautiful white dress. Her hair was done up, and her smile lit up the entire room. I was used to seeing her in jeans, an apron, and a bandana, but now she looked like a dream. I felt tears rising to my eyes. Everything we had been through, losing our parents, running the shop together, all the long days and shared meals, it hit me all at once. "Robert, are you crying already?" she asked, laughing. "We haven't even started yet." I quickly wiped my eyes and said, "It's just dust. I better take some pictures." I pulled out my DSLR camera, something I barely used, and snapped photo after photo of her, capturing every little smile and glance. I must have taken 50 shots. These would be memories I'd cherish forever. Later, she turned to me and said softly, "Thank you, Robert, for everything. Please keep supporting me." I knew she was also speaking to our parents in her heart. Ever since I dropped out of college to raise her and run the shop, I'd done my best. I wasn't perfect, but I hoped I'd been enough. I turned away so she wouldn't see me cry. The ceremony went on, and it was time for the groom's father, Mr. Thompson, to speak. John had told me he was finally on board with the wedding, so I thought we were past all that. Mr. Thompson stepped up and introduced himself confidently. "I am Sam Thompson, the father of the groom." As he continued, I had the odd feeling I'd seen him somewhere before. He held a long folded piece of paper, clearly prepared for a lengthy speech. I expected kind words, maybe even a surprise blessing. But then things took a turn. "I run a food manufacturing company," he said. "I raised John to be the heir. In contrast, Emily is the daughter of a small lunch shop owner. She's had a hard life. This is a marriage of complete disparity." The room fell into an uneasy silence. He went on, "Frankly, my wife and I wish this marriage never happened. If we could stop it now, we would." Everyone was stunned. He placed the speech on the bride and groom's table like it was a declaration. It felt like he had arranged this speech not to celebrate, but to humiliate. Emily started crying. John stood up in anger, ready to shout, but I quickly rose and gave him a signal to stay calm. I picked up the letter Mr. Thompson had left and walked up to the mic. "What are you doing?" Mr. Thompson asked. "Why are you taking my letter?" "I'm next for the speech," I replied with a calm smile. The MC, flustered, introduced me. "I'm Robert Smith, the bride's older brother." Mr. Thompson stared at me, still trying to place where he had seen me before. "I support this marriage," I began, "even if others don't. My sister and I have been through a lot. We lost our parents early and kept our family's packed lunch shop running together. We've worked hard. We're proud of our small shop. It's honest work, and it feeds a lot of people." The audience was silent, listening closely. "People say handwriting reflects the heart," I said, holding up the letter. "This one, it's cold, dismissive, and full of pride. It was placed here to shame the couple on their wedding day. That's not just rude, it's cruel." Mr. Thompson shouted from his seat, "Do you know who I am?" "Yes," I replied firmly. "You're Mr. Thompson, the man who once visited my shop and tried to buy my fried chicken recipe." Suddenly, his face changed. He realized who I was. I usually wore an apron and bandana, so he hadn't recognized me. "No matter what you say," I continued, "I'll always stand by my sister. This may feel like a modern-day Romeo and Juliet to you, but I'll support John and Emily with everything I've got." The room erupted in applause. After the ceremony, Mr. Thompson rushed up to me. "I didn't know you were the owner of Smith's Packed Lunch. I apologize." I looked him in the eye. "I'm still just a lunch shop owner, and you made yourself very clear during your speech." He had come to our shop with his executive months ago. He wanted to turn our fried chicken into a frozen product and open a chain of specialty stores. We were close to signing. I had been impressed by his interest. "But after today, I'm canceling the deal," I said. "That recipe is part of our family legacy. You insulted my sister, embarrassed your own son, and showed me exactly who you are." "That's impossible," he cried. "We've already designed packaging and opened 6 stores. You acted without a signed contract. That was your mistake." Just then, John stepped in. "Dad," he said, "I'm done. Like I told you before, if you tried to hurt Emily again, I'd walk away." Tears ran down his face as he continued, "You broke your promise, not me." And just like that, John ended things with his father. He even changed his last name to Smith, joining our family. After the wedding, John and Emily moved into a small apartment near the shop. Emily's commute went from 0 minutes to 20, but she still showed up every day, cheerful as ever. She became known for her creative, handwritten signs. They brought warmth to our store and helped us connect with customers. John helped out too, asking, "Anything I can do?" He was a great marketer and later started his own digital marketing company. Meanwhile, Mr. Thompson's company struggled. Without John, things fell apart. He tried running it alone, but poor leadership and bad decisions caught up with him. With John's help, we expanded Smith's Packed Lunch. We introduced new items, sold our fried chicken curry in stores, and even got featured in holiday gift catalogs. From a small lunch shop, we had grown into something bigger, something meaningful. I think our parents would be proud. One day, a woman came in for a job interview. She was a year older than me. Her handwriting on the application caught my eye. It was elegant, like my mother's. She said she loved our food and our store. Emily praised her too. "She's amazing with customers and very thoughtful," she told me. That handwriting stayed in my mind. Eventually, I proposed to her, and she said yes. Now we have 2 kids. We're a family of 4. Today, we're taking our food truck, with both families, to a gourmet food festival in New York. A big crowd is expected. We've prepared our best fried chicken just for this. I look around and smile. We've come a long way. And I truly believe, the future of Smith's Packed Lunch is bright.